My name is James White, and I did 100 push-ups every day for an entire year. When I was in college, I struggled to make working out a habit. I made it to the gym, but it was inconsistent and infrequent at best, and non-existent at worst. Fitness was a part of my life, but without regularity, and I made little progress. I wanted to change that for 2019. I wanted to do something to focus on my health each day, and so I decided to do 100 push-ups every day. I didn't know how far 100 push-ups a day would get me, but I wanted to give it a shot, knowing that if I started working out every day, I could later add more intense workouts to the already established habit. I began in late December 2018 and started recording for this video January 1st, 2019. It is January 1st, 2019, and I am starting a new project. I'm going to be doing 100 push-ups every day. Even though I like to lift weights and I love to run, I don't do it every day. I want to develop a mindset where I do a little something every day to get me closer to a larger goal of being more fit, being more healthy. By doing 100 push-ups a day, it means that there will be something that I have done to get closer to my goal on the days where I otherwise would have done nothing. The first workout was pretty difficult, but although it took a while, I made it to 100. And I made it to 100 the next day, and the next day, and the next day. I thought about splitting them with 50 in the morning and 50 in the evening, but usually ended up doing all 100 late in the day. As the weeks passed at the start of the year, doing the workouts didn't really get any easier, but it was less than a month before it became a habit, and I no longer had to remind myself to do it. Once the push-ups became an established habit, I added additional exercises so I could work multiple muscle groups. Going for 100 push-ups in a single session meant that I had to take frequent breaks, and so adding additional exercises meant that I could switch between them and spend less time idle. Abs were, and are, the area that needs most attention, and so on February 19th, I started doing 200 crunches every day. The daily workouts were each around 15 to 20 minutes, and once you do it every day, it becomes a habit, and you no longer forget. The hardest part was doing it when I didn't want to, like when I got home late and still had to work out, or when it was already late and I had to get into bed quickly because I had to get up early the next morning. And there were a lot of those days. I was able to stick with the habit because the daily commitment was manageable. When you're starting a new habit, one of the best ways to get that new habit to stick is to lower the barriers that might give you an excuse to skip a repetition, and then stop altogether. And this manifests as common advice. If you want to go to the gym after work, pack your workout clothes the day before. If you want to journal every day, leave a notebook by your bed. Doing 100 push-ups every day is a challenge that has inherently low barriers to entry. It doesn't require a gym, which also means it doesn't require travel to and from a gym. The total workout time is short, the travel time is zero, it doesn't require any special equipment, and it doesn't even require a change of clothes. All of this meant that I wasn't asking myself to do something daily that I had to explicitly schedule and prepare for in advance. Even when I didn't want to take the time to do it, I knew that it would only require a few minutes. The progress I made was slow. Doing a habit daily produces a lot of data points, often a resolution too fine to notice any changes between them. But after the first few months of the year saw almost imperceptible change, progress started to show entering the summer. Around this time was when other people started to notice as well. I was building muscle and becoming stronger, and the daily workouts were becoming easier. Mid-year, I checked in on my progress. Although results were modest, they were there, and it proved that after you establish a new habit, you have to give that habit time to work before you see the results. It was definitely a good idea to work out multiple muscle groups. Doing the push-ups and nothing else would have been unwise. Through the spring and summer, I ran fairly frequently, making any muscle growth more apparent than if I hadn't run at all. Starting to go on runs of 6 to 8 miles or more required me to take a closer look at how I was fueling myself. One of the benefits of working out every day is that you can get to know how your body reacts to day-to-day changes in diet, environment, and other physical activity. It's no surprise that diet is a big factor in the effectiveness of exercise. I eat fairly healthy, high protein and low sugar, and a lot of Soylent, and a lot of peanut butter, usually every day, usually around 11 p.m. I like to add extra protein to my Soylent, and I noticed the workout recovery, especially after cardio, was easier with the extra protein. Consuming less sugar also correlated with higher workout performance. As summer turned to fall, I began to pay more attention to not only what I was eating, but how much I was eating. I typically eat enough to feel satiated, which isn't really enough to get the most out of exercise, and so I started eating more on purpose around October. One of the most important aspects of exercising is exercising with proper form, and as you've seen from some of the video earlier in the year, my form was not great. Learning proper form from creators in the fitness space was something that I should have done much earlier in the year. When you do an exercise correctly, not only is it better for your body, but you get more out of each repetition. Working out every day was a wonderful habit to begin, but learning how to do it right gave a heightened sense of ownership of this part of my life. And I did it. I did 100 push-ups every day in 2019. 365 out of 365 days. I'm at my friend's place for the new year. It is December 31st, and it's time for me to do my final short workout of the year. Last year I started around December 27th or 28th, so it's actually already been a year. But with this workout, I will have 100%ed 2019. Not even gonna take my sweater off for this. I saw more improvement in 2019 working out for a few minutes each day than I did in all previous years of going to the gym infrequently. It's like I've been training all year for this. I didn't do a workout that was complicated. I didn't do a workout that was intense. What I had to do to get results was to work out every day. That's the key. 100 push-ups a day, every day in 2019. I recorded progress again in the new year. I built more muscle in the second half of the year than I did in the first. It's not as apparent because I was running much less at the end of the year, and I was consciously eating more. That was definitely it. I'm roughly the same weight as I was a year ago, but more of that weight is now muscle. After sticking with this for an entire year, I've noticed significant improvements in both strength and stamina. Aesthetically, the results were not massive, but there were results from what I would consider a relatively small effort each day. Many others have posted videos talking about doing 100 push-ups every day, and a lot of them show much more muscle gain. This tells me that either I don't put on muscle as easily as many others, or they were doing more intense workouts. Either way, I'm happy to provide a realistic result. And I know that my before and after photos weren't the exact same angle, with the exact same lighting, but frankly, I don't really care about the summer 2019 and the January 2020 results. I care about the 2021 results, and the 2030 results, and the 2050 results. Because it's not about doing this for a year and being done. It's about living a lifestyle that is perpetually healthy. As Simon Sinek would put it, this is an infinite game. For winter 2020, I'm planning on staying with the same workout routine because I'm comfortable with the amount of time I'm currently giving this part of my life. Doing 100 push-ups every day for a year proved to me that someone can see results where they didn't before by changing their approach and focusing not on a goal, but on a habit, and that the seldom taken advice that small efforts each day can lead to significant results over time should probably be put into practice more often. If you are interested in doing something like this, go for it. I highly recommend it. Starting with 100 push-ups a day can be a lot. If you can do it, do it. If you don't think you'll make it to 100, start low. Do 20. And if you can't do 20, do 10. Doing a few push-ups each day is not going to build a lot of muscle, but doing it every day will build discipline. And discipline is much more valuable. Once you're doing 20 push-ups every day, you can more easily move from 20 to 30, and then from 30 to 40. It's much easier to move from 20 to 40 than it is to move from 0 to 20, from nothing to something, from 0 to 1. Progress won't come quickly. You have to establish a habit and then give that habit time to work. Small progress each day is often much more powerful than trying to make more significant but less frequent leaps. And you don't have to wait until the start of a new year to implement a new workout routine, hopefully one that works out multiple muscle groups. Start where you are with what you've got. And remember that building muscle is not as important as building discipline. If you're thinking about trying something like this, I'd love to hear your plans in the comments. And if you've already tried something like this, I'd love to hear how it went for you. This video took over a year to make, and I hope it has been helpful. I wish you good health, I thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. What's this?
That's a typewriter. That's my
That makes such a nice sound.
Oh yeah, and it works great too. The reason I got it was to turn it into a computer terminal. So the bars underneath have a keyboard input that I'm attaching them to.
Oh, neat.
And then if you find a cheap source of solenoids, the idea is to allow it to type back to you as well. I have this design for strings that'll pull each one of the keys.
That's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be like a Ghost Rider.